moving your bike around in the woods and everything like that, just to get online and set up, is really important. So even just simple things like what I feel like I use a lot, just I like to hop that front wheel around to get in line. Front wheel, maybe 1 foot, a couple of inches makes a huge difference. So what I tend to do sometimes, if I'm in a section I need to hop that front wheel, I can actually do it with my rear brake. Hold that rear brake completely on, transfer my weight forward, and a simple hop like that is so effective. You know, little things like that. Obviously it helps only to the left because I don't have that. If I was going to the right, it's going to be a little bit trickier. But what I'm doing, I'm actually working with the suspension. I'm not fighting the bike. If I don't go forward, that suspension's not compressing. If I'm here and try and do it, it's just too difficult. You really want to work with that front suspension. Compress. I'm not yanking on the bars because I'm working with the bike. I like to use the front brake as well, just doing that simple little technique there, because if I didn't have the front brake on, it's more likely to roll forward, so that suspension's not going to compress so well. When I hop my front wheel around, you notice the bars are straight. So I always keep the bars straight. If I'm trying to go like that, turn the bars like this, it just doesn't work so well. So you can do this with the engine off. It's the same. It actually requires more technique. When you have the engine running, you have the advantage of this clutch. So you don't have to use as much energy as well. So it's a little bit of a pop at the clutch and I'm using no energy there. So it's all about the technique. So not stuffing around too much, because that's where you waste energy. Sometimes if I need to hop that back wheel around, just a simple sort of movement like that, slamming on that front brake, moving your leg against the bike so you can actually move it across left or right. I'm not using much energy, I'm just unweighting that rear end a little bit, slamming on the front brake and pushing my leg against it. Sometimes you only need like an inch or two, and that makes all the difference. So getting set up is pretty important. You might do one of those things that I just did. You might hop the front wheel. Don't waste energy, so use the bank to roll backwards. And yeah, it's trying to just reserve your energy as much as possible. You know, that little trick there, that's freaking handy.
So here Graham Jarvis is showing us what to do when you're pinned against a tree and how to get over a tree that's suspended or just a big tree in general. So most of us has probably been in a situation just like this, and the worst thing to do is fight it, fall over, have to pick your motorcycle up. Here Graham is showing him how to use his legs, put force against the log to climb the front end up on there. Unfortunately, he's sitting and he ends up looping it out. If he was standing, he'd be able to throw his weight forward and make it over the log. So this is definitely a technique that I use often. Obviously, if you can clear the log with a more advanced technique in one motion without stopping, that's best. But if you don't make it, this is a great way to get over the obstacle without too much drama or wasted energy. What you want to do is get your front end far enough up on the tree so that your feet can rest against the log. Then push your feet into the log and pull the front end up while slowly feeding in some throttle to climb the skid plate up onto the log. Ideally, you can then throw your body weight forward and use a little bit of throttle to get over the log. It ain't pretty, but it works.
Yeah!
So here's the same old situation we've probably all been in. Stuck on the log, approaching the log, not getting the front end up, just struggling, and just wasting a ton of energy. If you just stop for a minute, develop a plan on how to get over this sucker with the least amount of energy wasted, you're going to have a much better day.
right, sir. They're all dead.
As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Click the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. We've got a ton more footage from Tim Coleman and Graham Jarvis coming up.